All right, we are now live again. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this live or replay from. I hope you had a great day. So, today is December 29, 2024, and it's already 9:30 p.m. We actually just got home from a quick road trip with the family, with the kids. We just treated them, just had them play in an indoor park. And Marky, because he's already a teenager, we just had him meet his friends back in GTA. So, and we're now back in Windsor. So again, if this is the first time that you are seeing me, this is Aryan here, coming to you live from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And I am actually an IT analyst, currently an IT analyst, and also a proud digital business owner. And in this digital business, we help ambitious, hardworking, dedicated career parents or individuals, working individuals, to take back control of their life and have more time with their family by starting a legitimate digital business. So that is me. Again, just a quick introduction. So yesterday I also had a quick introduction because we were in a hotel, and the whole family was just there. We are just in one room. So just a little bit of background. Again, if it's the first time you're seeing me or my face or my page, um, I have been working I used to be an SAP programmer back in the Philippines for 12 years. We've searched, looked for greener pastures, and that's why we came here in Canada in 2022. I started here as a student and took up project management, graduated in the same year, and took up the PMP certification exam right after. I fortunately passed the exam, but I didn't get to actually use that for applying in the jobs, right? So during the process, I already got hired as an IT analyst, and that's what I do now as my day job, and also alongside with it, this digital business that we're doing. Um, so yeah, that's me. And tonight, actually, we are going to discuss the third day. So this is actually a part of a 5-day series before 2025 starts, and it's our day 3, which is let's build our roadmap. So so we're on day 3 right now, and the other day, day 1, we discussed about decluttering. So again, hoping that you've already decluttered, you've already cleaned out your space, your home, so that you can have a fresh start, a clean slate to start the new year, because it actually gives us mental clarity for planning ahead for 2025 or next year. And then last night, we talked about reflect and set intentions for day 2. So, what we did was to assess 2024, and then we identified or tried to understand at least what worked well, what didn't work well, and then what can we do actually to move forward and have a clear direction for 2025. So that's what we did. And then tonight, we are going to be discussing day 3, which is to build our roadmap. And I'm going to again give you actionable steps that you can consider, that you can do for yourself, so that you can focus on breaking down big goals into smaller ones, and then at least have manageable steps, consistent and sustainable steps, so that you can achieve your goals for 2025. Because let's be honest, right? Like, having big dreams is really very exciting, but also it can be daunting sometimes, especially when you don't have a plan to do it. It's easy to feel stuck or overwhelmed, right? So like a lot of New Year's resolutions, we just stop, let's say by February, by March, or in the middle of the year, and then we totally forget about it. Now we have a New Year's resolution, and then we probably think about it again in the next end of year, like in December next year, and then we try to prepare again for it for the next year. But I hope that these actionable steps that I'm going to give tonight will set you up for success in order to achieve your goals consistently, and the steps that we're going to write down could be, and I hope it will be sustainable for you. So that's why it's important that today we build the roadmap on how we want our life to be in 2025, because we all have our goals, right? And we all have visions, and it is up to us to have those visions turn into reality. So excuse me. So this roadmap that we're going to do, it will be your guide to staying focused and inspired and motivated all year long, so that you can achieve your big goals for 2025. So are you ready to to design your success story for 2025? So without further ado, let's get started. There. So again, our day three will be to build our roadmap. So I hope you have your pen and paper with you so that you can probably take down notes, or maybe you can just rewatch this video if you want to follow the steps that I'm going to give you. So you actually don't need to buy a planner, but you can use a notebook, like a dedicated notebook, so that you can write down these plans that these plans and goals that we want to achieve in 2025. And also, it probably, if you are more inclined into using your mobile phone, you can just download a tool or an app that can help you plan and outline your months for 2025. You know, you can put in milestones and key goals so that it's easier for you. Maybe if you are always on your phone, you can like just open the app and easily see what you still have to do to accomplish your goals, right? So the first actionable step is to create a priority list for the first quarter of 2025. So last night, I mentioned that we have different life aspects or areas. And I mentioned there that we have to identify which top three, ideally top three of those areas, of those aspects that we want to give focus on for the next year. And that's because we can only do so much. We're only humans. We can only cater, you know, we can't cater a lot of things like at the same time, right? So so it's easier for us, and it's more focused if we will like write down only three items um as priority aspects that we want to improve on in 2025. So that's, I hope that's actually already done, because we've done that last night. If you haven't watched that, you can just go straight ahead in my business page, Facebook business page, and you can find the previous go live before this one that I did to discuss day two, which is reflecting and setting intentions for 2025. So I hope that's already done. And then the next step is to block off time for important tasks that you have to do plan around family, work, and self care. What I actually love to do is to ask each member of the family. So we each have our own goals. Like for me, if I have a goal for my family, I don't want them to follow my goals, right? Because they have their own. They should have their own. So, but what I love to do is so that everybody's aligned, everybody will write down their priorities or their goals for the year. Or maybe if I can just ask them, then I could just write them down just so I have a record of it. And then I can track it also and help them or motivate them if I need to in the middle of the year, right? So if you have a family, it's really fun to do this with your kids as well or with your husband as well. So you can plan around family. If you have a career or if you are working, then you can probably like put in some tasks that you want to accomplish at work as well. And then also probably for self-care, if you want to put focus on yourself as well, your personal development or maybe um your skincare routine, like maybe self-care routine, maybe your skincare or relaxation, right? So you can do that. You can block off the time for important tasks. But again, the important thing here is which ones are your priority. So if you have put in priority for your self development or personal development, then you can enter self care under it, right? If you want to work on your relationships, then maybe you can put family or friends under it, or colleagues or workmates, right? So I'm gonna give you later a quick tip on how I really do it. So the next actionable item, oh no, so the next actionable item I'm going to discuss later on. But the outcome that we want here is that we want to feel organized and in control of our upcoming tasks. So I know that sometimes it could feel overwhelming. And I started to have an organization process personally when I heard Marie Forleo. If you are not yet familiar with her or about her, you can just Google or you can find her on YouTube as well. She's present in different social media platforms, but Marie Forleo is one of personal development gurus. And I cannot forget this line that she said during a Tony Robbins virtual training. And she said, I don't do overwhelm. So that was the mantra that I have ever since I heard that that statement. I don't do overwhelm. Okay. And then I try to breathe in, breathe out, deep breathing for a couple of times. And then that makes me calmer. And then after that, I can start writing down again. What are my to-do list for the day? What's my priority? What do I need to finish today? Or maybe um, there are other things that I can park and accomplish in another day. So you don't have to do all things all at once, right? It helps if you have a list so you can see clearly what are your priorities and what you can park, right? So that's the outcome, to feel organized and in control of your upcoming tasks. So now, what do I actually love to do when planning out the year ahead before it starts? So, of course, we have goals, right? We have dreams. So, what I love to do is I do reverse engineering. And I don't want it to sound like something very technical, but I guess probably because I have the mind of a programmer. But this is one of the techniques wherein it's easier for us to do mind mapping, right? Because we try to do reverse engineering. So how is it done? We need to visualize the outcome first. The outcome first. So I'm gonna give you an example later, just so we can like identify or maybe gauge how it is really done. I'll give you practical tips as well. So that's the first thing to do. We have to visualize the outcome first. What is it? What output is it that we really want to achieve? And you can do this for every goal, every big goal that you have. And this is a technique so that you can break down huge, massive, big goals into smaller ones so that you know what tasks you should do so that you can achieve those goals and so that it could be sustainable and you don't lead to burnout. Okay, so that's what I do. So we visualize first, and then the next thing to do is to find out what are the things that can be done to take the path that leads to the outcome. So that's how the mind mapping works. Say we have a big goal, we have this outcome, we want this outcome, and then you can probably put in some branches. If you want to write it down, you can put some branches, and then you can identify major tasks or situations that could lead to that outcome. And then for each of those branches, you can still put in some sub topics or sub branches or subtasks that you can do to achieve that smaller chunk of the goal, right? So that's what I do. An example is, so let's say, hold on, just check here. Yeah, so the example is, let's say you want to focus on your health or reducing weight, losing weight, let's say. So for me, actually, it's kind of a big goal because um, I feel like I'm at my heaviest right now, let's say, something like that. So the goal is to probably lose 20 pounds over 6 months. Say that's the goal, right? In 6 months. So the technique here is to use numbers so that it could be measurable. And then you divide how much you want to lose over the timeline that you want to achieve it. So let's say we only have 6 months, right? So you have 20 divided by 6, and that would give you like roughly around 3.3 pounds a month or zero point 0.8 pounds per week. Okay, so that's just to illustrate and make it easier for you to see how to really break down a big goal. Okay, so you can probably do or divide a big chunk of goal using the timeline, the months that you have, the weeks that you have within that year, within 2025, and then identify smaller tasks. Or maybe let's say if you want to have, let's say, $50,000 of emergency fund for savings, get say that's your goal, you can probably put in say how much, 20% of your salary, your biweekly salary, in order to achieve that $50,000 goal, things like that. So that's how you want the goal to be, because you want it to be measurable. You want to know, or at least assess in the middle if it's working, if the tasks that you're doing are working for you to achieve your goals. And then the next one is to identify the key pathways to achieve it. So from our example of losing, say, 20 pounds over 6 months, you can ask yourself, right? What lifestyle changes can you make? What specific habits do you want to develop, right? And these ones, the answer to these questions, we have a lot of resources already, whether online or in books. You can just ask Google, right? But the key here in this step is to identify which one really resonates with you. Again, we don't want to have a burnout, right? We don't want to be burnt out. We want it to be sustainable. We want it to last for the whole year. We don't want to stop in the middle because we're already too overwhelmed, or we've already exhausted all our energy into it, right? But it happens sometimes. So that's why we wanna make it sustainable. We want to divide it into smaller chunks so that we won't feel burnt out. So what are those key pathways that you can write down with regards to losing 20 pounds in 6 months? So the three major tasks that you can do, or major areas that you can focus on with within that goal, or within that um, milestone, is about your diet. You can probably create calorie deficit by eating healthier foods and portioning meals, or maybe refrain from eating oily and too salty foods, right? The next thing is exercise. Of course, you need to exercise every day, but again, try to be sustainable. So maybe at first you can do it for 15 to 20 minutes, and then the next few weeks you can adjust the time, like maybe add more minutes to it, right? Just so it becomes sustainable and gradual for you. The third one is to improve your lifestyle, to improve your sleeping patterns, and try to manage your stress. Like maybe book your massage therapy probably every 2 to 3 weeks, or every month, right? But the key here is to, again, you have to follow whatever you're writing in there. You have to make actions or create actions to um, to develop yourself, to improve yourself, and to eventually achieve your bigger goals, right? So this is what I was talking about. So the step three is to define the actions to support the pathway. So for those, like for example, for the exercise action, you have to commit to three strength training sessions and two cardio workouts, which is more specific now, right? So maybe you can do lifting, um, like how many reps, how many minutes, right? And then gradually increase intensity every 2 weeks to keep progressing. So, for example, for the lifestyle action, for the sleeping pattern, in improving your sleeping pattern, try, if you are not sleeping by 10 p.m., then maybe you can start doing that. Maybe you can adjust your time of sleeping, or try to achieve 7 to 8 hours of sleep, right? So in this area, I actually have an alarm every day, and I always try to follow to sleep by 11 p.m. So never later than 11 p.m., and I still achieve that 7 to 8 hours every night of sleep. And that's really, I guess this is why I haven't been sick for a long time now. So this really helps out a lot. So the next step is to set milestones for progress. And one of the important things is to celebrate those milestones. Don't forget, even just a small milestone, even just a small achievement in doing those tasks that you listed down, celebrate those milestones, because that will motivate you further into achieving those goals week by week, month by month, until the end of the year, right? And then the last but not the least is to identify resources or support needed, because you cannot just do it alone. Like for example, if you have let's say I'm doing this digital business and I have goals set to achieve some milestones that I would have to achieve for this goal, right? And I wouldn't be able to achieve those milestones if my family is not cooperative, if they're not helping me out. And so what I did was to assign the kids as well. So let's say, okay, I'm gonna do the laundry today, but you have to watch out for it, move it to the dryer, and afterwards fold it. So those kind of things. And then sometimes I also would tell them I am doing this go live, and uh and the kitchen is so messy. So I would say, maybe you can go ahead and clean up the plates, the dishes, or maybe you can put them inside the dishwasher and then run it, right? So I don't have to do it, and I would save up time for myself. Instead of doing that, um, I would just focus myself in doing the digital business, because this is my time in doing my business. Like I would have to dedicate time with my business as well, right? Because for the whole day I do my day job, right? I work from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then after that, I would have to focus on doing the business as well, because again, there's no overnight success here, right? so so that's how I do it. So if you have like a huge goal for 2025, break them down into smaller goals, and then those smaller goals would have um, tasks in them, like priority tasks that you you would want to achieve, so that you can achieve those bigger chunks, and then ultimately the main big goal. And that's how I do reverse engineering. So because of that, because I do have that some kind of a mind map, it also serves as my roadmap for 2025 to hit my big goals, right? So I hope you got some value from that. And again, our roadmap isn't just a list, okay? So the key here is discipline. You know, you have to be disciplined enough, to be motivated, inspired enough to continuously achieve those goals week by week, month by month, and to consistently do the tasks that you have to do for you to achieve those goals by the end of the year, or whatever timeline you put in there. And I hope by now you have the clarity, you have the structure, so that you can start preparing for the year ahead. If you really want some change in your life, you only need to be really disciplined. You have to, because you can't get motivation from others if you don't get motivation within you. If you can't figure out how to really arouse that motivation and inspiration in you. So what I love to do about that is to watch at least 30 minutes of an inspirational or motivational YouTube video or podcast, or maybe, as I said before, I always do the savers routine. So um, either I read like a few pages of the book, of a business or motivational book, or I listen to an audiobook for a couple of minutes. So that's how I do it, because because of that, I easily get motivated, I get in the zone, and I don't forget those tasks that I need to do for my business, because this is also one of the big goals that I have for 2025. That's how I do it. So it's again your commitment to yourself, to your goals, improving yourself, achieving your dreams. And those dreams are not just for yourself. I believe it's also for your family, for your loved ones around you, right? So if you really want to build a life that you really wanted, these small steps add up so that you can ultimately achieve your goals. And as you move forward, you just have to stay focused, stay consistent, and always remember your why you really started, why you're doing what you're doing, because that will anchor you to achieving that goal by the end of 2025. And I hope we will see our lives changed by then, right? So, again, 2025 is yours and yours to own. And I'm cheering you on every step of the way. So, let's make it a huge, massive year that we will never forget. There you have it. So I hope you got some value from that sharing, and a lot of steps maybe, but you can probably just rewatch and then try to do it like a workshop, right? So that you can follow through and write down your own roadmap or your mind map for for the next year, 2025. So that's it for me. And if you're interested again to learn more about our digital business and how we really earn here, how we do the business, so just register in my website down below, ariangale.com, enter your full name and email address, and I will send you the link to the next live info session. But if you cannot attend the live info session, a replay of that will be sent out to you as well once you are registered in my website. So, also, we have a dedicated Facebook business learning group. So if you have received an email from me after registering from my website, I suggest that you look around and see the community, see what's inside, the people, the posts, the wins, and success of our fellow digital business owners. And we also have free resources in that FB group as well. So just feel at home and enjoy whatever you're gonna see in there. So again, um, we're almost in 2025, right? Only 2 more days ahead, and I'm really very excited for us, for our life to change in 2025. So I hope you are also ready to conquer all your goals, your fears in 2025. So that's it from me, and I hope you got some value from that. Thank you so much for watching and for always supporting me. I am very grateful that you are here in this journey with me, and I hope you will also join me in 2025. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again tomorrow in my next live. Bye for now.